Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the CEO briefing. And we are the 16th of September. A couple more weeks before the quarter is over. I have some exciting news about what's happening in the quarter. Thank you for your patience. We had some delayed content again. We will make sure that we start on time in the future. And I'm just making sure that everything is good. Let me start right away with the content, the start off stuff. So this is Water is the New Gold, your weekly show. And we bring a lot of value to this show, helping you thrive in the world's only vital, scarce, and recession-proof market. So as always, we have the Spanish channel in real time. It's really a pleasure to have Heather do such a great job and provide the Spanish translations, and we hope to add more languages as we go. So, safe harbor statement. We have okay. What this says is that we believe or anticipate, estimate certain things which may not turn out to be true. And we do our very best to correct these as we go. All right. The reason I'm interrupting myself is that I have a video which is still making its way. So let's proceed. We've got some press. Now, here's what's cool. Authority Magazine is a very cool magazine based on Medium. Back in July 5th of 2020, 5 things I wish someone had told me before I became the CEO of Origin Clear. That was a good article. These are very in-depth and lengthy. I'll show you. Well, I'll show you. Then just May 24th of this year, the 3 things you need to shake up your industry, which is certainly something we're working on over here. And finally, appeared just September 1st, the 5 things you need to understand in order to successfully invest in cryptocurrency. And Neil and Kimberly Castillo say hello and thank you. Thank you for joining. So let me just show you the most recent article here. Here it is, the 5 things you need to understand in order to successfully invest in cryptocurrency. And let me show you the article right here. Here it is. And just to give you a sense of what the thing presents like, you know, the main homepage of it, it looks kind of like this, right? So has just all these cool influencers, and it's really an honor to be to have a lengthy article on this show, on this publication. So let's just see a few of the things that avoid get rich quick schemes. So a few more things like, well, of course, the great whole thing about my background, and this is, you know, a book I recommend, which is The Innovator's Dilemma, and then mistakes I made, et cetera, et cetera. And then it gets into, okay, projects, ClearAqua, Watercoin for the world, et cetera, and so on and so forth. And then what was our concerns? First of all, big holders can really move the currencies. And so that is still a problem in cryptocurrency. Secondly, attempts to tax crypto, I think, are ultimately dangerous. I think what we've done so far, tracking what you hold in exchange for taxation. Otherwise, I think we will go underground with a lot of stuff. And finally, these meme coins. Hello. I mean, come on, Dogecoin, that was great. Now we have like 1,200 meme coins, and people are making you know, get rich quick stuff happen. So those are the 3 things. Now, myths. Crypto is not real money. Let's get over this. Later in the show, Ken is going to talk to us about how a prominent Fox business anchor is now in his 60s. He's a very conservative investor, is on the board of a cryptocurrency. So that is, the well-established cryptos are solid. And of course, we're going to see a raft of digital currencies from governments, and those are, not the real thing for sure. All right. Potential helps decide in the future. Well, of course, I'd like to talk about water and, packaging water payments. I've talked to you a lot about this. And here's what's important. Any commodity, you've got to be able to manage your risk, right? You got to be able to go, okay, I'm paying too much over here in Northern California, but maybe I can buy, I can offset it with the cost of water in Singapore. Well, you can't do that right now. It's impossible. And so there's an opportunity here. And what we're really doing here is we're hooking into the actual gallons, dollars per gallon. I say gallons, it can be cubic meters, whatever, to create eventually a world market. So that is really a very, very important goal. Now, environmental challenge of crypto mining, I think that is an overstated problem. If anybody's looked at the ecological cost and the climate fossil fuel cost of lithium, oh my gosh, you wouldn't buy a single electric car, but there's a reason why we buy them, and that is because it goes in the right direction. And that's the same thing with crypto. Okay. And then a few other cool things. So what are the 5 things you need to understand in order to successfully invest? Number 1, avoid get rich quick schemes. Yes, I wasted some money myself, not a lot, but it actually burned me, and I stayed out of the market, which was not great. Number 2, look for the team behind the crypto. Water Chain back in 2018, we had a management team, but we weren't a team. For some reason, it was a lot of individuals. So I think the key is to really make sure that the proven team continues to work on it, which we now have. Number 3, keep it simple. Don't go nuts, right? So use currencies that are very strong and reliable, like Ethereum, Facebook group, and also my advice, which is what I'm following myself, don't sell. Just hold on. Hold on for dear life. HODL. So, all right. I also advise people to get a proper hardware wallet, keep good accounts. Don't get advice from that buddy who has a particular coin offering that doesn't work too well. Don't day trade, and don't stop investing. All right. Well, I'm not going to, spend your time too much on this, but if you search, Authority Magazine, Rick Zackelberry, you will find this, and it will be on our website as well. So let's turn back to where I was. Here we go. And we were in popular science. This is so cool. Of course, I was always a popular science geek, so to me, it was so great. Well, it's an article about half of the world's children live in dangerous climate conditions, and how important climate mitigation or reduction of risk is to protect the world's youth. And sure enough, here's where we are being quoted that, we believe that children are the canary in the coal mine, meaning they indicate where the stress is happening, and unchanged number of people without access to safe sanitation. Now, I always want to say that population has increased, and we've kept up with population increase, but the core number has not changed. So that's a problem. Okay. Monday, we had a kickoff meeting of ClearAqua, the water coin for the world, and I am going to play you. You're going to get a little, you'll be getting a fly on the wall for this meeting. Okay. This is what's so cool about a Zoom meetings, but this is an excerpt. It's a short one, but it'll give you a sense. So I'm going to switch over now to the thumbnail mode. Here we go. And let's rock. Oh, okay. Over to you.
From my end, we're really excited to get started. You know how the way we've got it planned out. We're going to be working on the white paper for the next 2 weeks, and once we get that going, you know, start building out the token itself and building out the websites.
So just, you know, pulling back 30,000 feet, this is the basic concept. The mission of this is understood. And of course, the proposals bubble up, and now we got a bunch of proposals, which then can be put out in some way to, you know, even people like charity.org and stuff like that. So what we are going to tie together with these people. So if Charity Water can fund a water project in Chad, it's not just, the right-hand side is not just $H2O. It's also, you know, kind of everybody, the planet, right? The mission is to identify problems and put together proposals.
Giving emphasis on, you know, people really feeling so strongly about the project that they're willing to put more tokens behind it.
If you vote with your money, then you're putting skin in the game.
That's right. We're going to move as quickly as possible with this. We've actually got a meeting with, you know, with a contact we have that's an expert in tokenomics, and we're going to be working closely with him, building this white paper out. And we want to get everything, you know, just perfect, so we can have it set to go as far as functionalities and from the legal side, so we can move forward. Yeah.
It is a utility token, meaning it's not for investment, and it is meant for people to earn money. It's a way for them to find that basically, you know, it can be modest, right? Like when I stake my theta, when theta starts robbing my bandwidth, it's not, I don't get a lot of money out of it, but it clearly makes a utility.
But it has to be utility.
Yeah, Rick, the purpose of this meeting was to tell you that we're starting today, all heads on, or that we're excited. You have a timeline that we're going to stick to, and to define specifics that, typically in projects, we do either a weekly demo or a bi-weekly demo. We have to define the customer expectations under the agile methodology that we follow. So it was just to define the rules of engagement of this relationship and making sure that everything is flowing on the go. It's nice to meet Rick. If he wants to provide feedback or input, it's welcome. So that's the purpose of this meeting, just to kick it off officially.
Good. All right, gentlemen. Well, thank you very much. I'm very excited, and I will keep close track. Thank you.
Thank you.
So that's the progress there. Now I'm going to interrupt this transmission to give you an update from, I just received something from our good friend Ivan Ans of Philanthropy Investors. So he says, and this has literally just been posted here, number one, Origin Clear was highlighted in one of the top family legacy passing podcasts in the world. So, you know, this is where they figure out how to do estate planning, basically. That's going to broadcast in October. We got the first official investor in Argentina and the second one in Latin America. We received an offer and reserve deposit for our real estate pilot. Yes. So that's continuing efforts. We rely on philanthropy investors to broaden our international network, and they're certainly doing that for us. And I love that we ended up being in a very important family office estate planning type podcast, right? That's super cool. All right, so I'm being sent a link. Oh. Ah, I understand now. All right. Okay, seconds of silence, not good. But here's what happened is we do have a video we'll be playing shortly, but let me get back to the actual show. All right, so back to share. And by the way, the gentleman who's bald like me with the headset was Ricardo Garcia. He's our advisor for crypto. Basically, he's a senior program engineer over at Red Hat, and he's working with us on to coordinate things from our end because I don't pretend to be a technical guy. And on the other side, the three gentlemen you saw there are from Baja Technologies. They are based in the U.S., in Mexico, but primarily the development is happening in Cordoba, Argentina, which is a fantastic a development center, very well known. JRW says he likes my jacket. Well, thank you for that. Okay, now I'm going to pull up. I did a video earlier on a Zoom with Ken, and this is the raw thing. So here it is. I'm going to flip over and play it. And I'm going to switch the share again to where it is optimized. And it's meant to be prettied up for the briefing replay. You're seeing the rough stuff, and I thank you for your patience. All right, I'm going to reshare with optimization for video. And here's my discussion earlier on with Ken. So Ken, did you survive Las Vegas? What have you left there?
About a year of my life. Between between like 12 planes, trains, and automobiles. I'm buying stock in. Is it Uber public?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I need to buy Uber because I'm supporting the company. I wish it was fun. Vegas was all right. So here's the thing. It's funny because the conference really did have pretty good attendance. Traditionally, they have 3,000 people, but in COVID, they were expecting 800. We had about 1,300 people, which is quite a bit. And then you go out into the street of Vegas. The streets, like literally Las Vegas Strip, it's dead. It's empty.
Oh God.
Manuel and I were able to walk into the Bellagio, walk to the top sushi place, which I sent you pictures of.
Yeah.
I sent you pictures of my sushi. And we were like, yeah, can we get a table? Like, sure. We got like 6 of them. So yeah, they're hurting. They're hurting. It's not ideal. And
they weren't nice people before, so I guess whatever. Karma's a bitch, but
humility comes from from humbling experiences.
That's so true. So your experience at the Money Show.
I met dozens and dozens of interested investors. It's funny. This was not normally our venue. You have the guys that have been they basically do 4 money shows a year, and they do every money show. So it's interesting. We had a couple of rookie mistakes. Where we put the sign, and I let some guys.
And where was the hot model babe?
Yeah, I didn't get right. I didn't hire a girl. Well, you know what?
Never mind. Continue.
I am a married man, and my wife would be. I take pictures of because she'd be like, "Who's that?" I don't know. We just met her. That would go great.
That's right. We hired her. We hired her
in Vegas. That's fine. So the other thing that's interesting is that everybody, no matter what they were dealing in, talked about this nuclear bomb that's ticking. We had Wayne Allen Root. We had Stephen Moore from Fox News. He came in. He was a keynote speaker.
And you spoke to him.
Spoke to him. Yeah. Took a picture with him. Shook hands with him. He said he'd come by the show. I don't know if he did my particular presentation. I don't know if he made it or not. But he spoke. Wayne Allen Root spoke. We had I think Steve Forbes showed up. I don't know if he spoke, but there was a common theme. this impending nuclear bomb that's going off with what the Fed is doing with the dollar. Numerous companies embracing cryptocurrency. Mr. Moore, Steve told me that he just joined the board of a cryptocurrency. And this is a man in his 60s who, was kind of traditional Wall Street, right? Until, yesterday. And, all of a sudden he's, kind of buying in on the idea that, maybe we do need an alternative to what the Fed tells us is money. You know what I mean? And that's really, it literally is here. We're telling you what's money. You just believe us. We're the government, and I think that there's a common theme among investors right now that are very, very worried about asset investing. They're worried about, I got numerous complaints, not complaints, more concerns, commercial real estate, oil and gas. I'll give you an example. There's a guy there. He says he's killing it. He has people giving him gigantic swaths of land with oil and gas wells on them. So the people that own these properties are in their 80s and they're aging out and they're leaving them to widows and so on and so forth. And they don't want them. They're not able to produce on them. So he's essentially taking them. He's got the expertise and the mechanical know-how to get these gas wells running to provide income for these folks on the property they live on. But oil and gas, commercial real estate, a big concern in the general, everyone who spoke about it. We had Wayne Allen Root, hard selling gold. You got to buy gold, you got to buy gold, you got to buy gold. He's predicting, I think he's wrong about the market crashing. I think there'll be a small correction, but I think it funds too much of taxpayer.
No, I agree that it's not so much a crash as just continued dilution of the dollar, basically, right?
Correct.
And the thing about gold, gold is a safe haven. Everyone should have gold, of course, but it's not a high growth vehicle, right?
No.
And so that's where, how does our particular water
freeze-dried money?
Okay.
You know what I mean? In other words, $1,000 worth of gold. So in other words, an ounce of gold 40 years ago will buy in today's dollars what it bought in 1965 dollars, right? So did it grow in value, or just did our currency just get smashed, right? So that's what I call freeze-dried money. But the other thing, continue what you were saying about.
No, so what I was getting at is water as an asset, our offering, how investors can grow their investment using our particular growth model. How does that play alongside these other ones?
Right. So the asset investors that I spoke to were very skittish. They were skittish about what they were in. They look, we don't know each other yet, so there wasn't a whole lot of reveal there, but they demonstrated the curiosity of looking for alternatives in the asset class. When I discussed the offering itself, they were really amazed at how creative we were. And the fact that we're incorporating cryptocurrency as kind of an overlay to not just to our model, but to our financial instrument, right? That was super attractive. And I had people, it's funny, people that I've never spoken to before, people I only spoke to for a moment or two, they asked a couple of questions.
And I want to make it clear that the overlay is not a security. It is a utility token that is no investment value. Continue.
Exactly. What he said. But I meant I meant it in using the cryptocurrency as a mechanism for acceleration. And that's what they found truly fascinating. I wasn't talking about a financial vehicle. I was talking about
I get it. Okay,
an accelerator vehicle. So and so many people got it. They said, look, this has been, and I talk about this has been done before. Amazon did. It took 15 years. Netflix did. It took 15 years. So the fact that it's now a well-worn path could cut our time to disruption significantly. But adding a potential accelerator could put this thing in terms of years, not decades. And that was really exciting. I had people that had never spoken to us before, knew nothing about us. When I started talking about the model, they were able to complete some of my sentences for me because it makes so much sense, right? It's just common sense. And they go, how come no one's ever thought about that before? And I said, I think basically someone had to just say, we want to do it different and not come up against, well, you can't.
Right.
Right. I think someone probably has had an idea or two that was told, well, you can't do it. That's not the way we do it. And they took that as, they took yes for an answer, or they took no for an answer. Fortunately, we don't listen to anybody. And that works.
Plus we changed so fast, people don't know what we got, so they can't say no.
That's true. That's true. And
but having said that, we've I think, we've frozen our model, and we have this 4-level stack, basic engineering solutions. And, I just, today I got this number out of Mark Stevens in Texas. We're, as of today, we're up.
News. Are you going to break news?
Yes, sir.
Live? Well, quasi live?
No, this is booked sales today.
Booked sale.
$9.4 million. Today, last year, same time, 3.4 million. Now, book sales, you still have to deliver, but it's an amazing indicator. So that first level is rocking. Second level, modular water systems. I don't know if you heard about this. There's literally a housing development in McKinney that is expanding so much they can't do sewage anymore. They have to have their own facility. This is what we've been saying all along. So modular water systems has taken off like crazy. Looks like they had potentially another $1 million month in book sales. Now that may be part of that number I just gave you. So I don't want to.
It might cross over to PwC.
Yeah, totally. And then, but it's what's great about modular water systems. It's not custom. It's prefab. We launched that Ponster last week, et cetera. The third level, water on demand, which is where people don't have to pay for a machine up front. We go from selling to blessing. We bless you with a system. Here you go. And they pay by the gallon. That not only liberates them, but also creates assets for us because we continue to own these. And that eventually sends us to the NASDAQ. And the final piece, of course, is this crypto, which is my personal project that, there's a video in this briefing where literally the kickoff, we have some excerpts from the kickoff. It's kind of cool. So what I was getting at with this 4-level stack here is, are we potentially looking at a unicorn?
It's funny. So I forgot to tell you, one of the potential investors I spoke to, Indian gentleman, he's already kind of active in crypto. Mm-hmm. He came over to me because the sign says, water 2.0 cryptocurrency. He goes, what the hell does water have to do with crypto? I said, well, I'm glad you asked. And he was the guy that was finishing my sentences for me by the time I got like halfway through. So he totally got it. But I basically talked to him about this $300 million group of SPVs that would form almost like a fund, almost like a SPAC-like fund. And I said, and the idea is to keep, 299 million of that as assets. So he said to me, he goes, so you guys basically are taking a really old business and making it into like a unicorn growth play. You guys can be a unicorn. And so at that moment, I was like, well, that's cool. And then you sent me, like, it was so creepy. You sent the email like that day or the next day about Origin Clear. And I said, did I talk to him about this? I'm like, I don't think I did. So
no, these are not the droids you're looking for.
Right. I didn't know maybe he was a shill you sent in to talk to me.
Yeah, that's what I do. That's because I have the time. But listen, that's really exciting. So you're gonna tonight. Well, we might or might not see you. This is why we're pre-recording this, because you're doing Cub Scouts with your kid, shooting off BB guns. Woohoo!
Yes,
that should be fun.
You're gonna take your eye out at that kid. Yeah,
that's why we wear glasses.
Right. That's a Christmas Story reference. Never mind.
Yeah. That's Home Alone? No.
Christmas Story. The kid who wanted the Red Ryder wagon, the Red Ryder with he had the Dakota ring. You're gonna shoot your eye out, kid. You're gonna shoot your eye out, kid. Okay. You had to grow up in the 80s. You had to grow up in the 80s.
Well, I'm considerably older than you, my friend.
Yes.
Shut up. All right, buddy. Well, thank you. Welcome back. Very well done. I hear you're killing it this week.
Yeah.
And we're running.
I haven't left my desk. They're going to start sending food up to me. Nice. No, I mean, it's literally been stacked one after the other, where I have to get off at the end of the call because I have another one going. It's great. It's really busy.
That's a wonderful thing, my friend. I know you have another call shortly, so I'll let you go. If you're here, if you're there tonight, you'll see yourself on TV. If not, then you'll see the replay.
All right.
Thank you.
Good night, folks.
Take care. Davis says, thank you. You are doing a great job for our society. So thank you for that. No, it was a lot was learned. It's really so strange that this guy comes up with the unicorn idea at the show, and then separately, I'm like, well, what if we became a unicorn? And yeah, it's a jump. I'm not going to say it's like, oh yeah, no problem. It's not something I'm minimizing. It's a tough pull, but it's 100x. It's not 1,000 or 20,000x, right? It's 100x. So it is within view, at least. It's a possibility. Okay, so I just wanted to disclaim that because I don't want to say, you told me you were going to be a unicorn. Well, I do believe we will be, but again, it's one of those things where I would not want to minimize it. Okay, so let's take a look at what else we got here. Oh, we filed the second quarter 10Q today. The quarterly filing was filed. It was late. As I told you, it was not as late as the last one, but it was nonetheless late. And we are being assured by all concerned that Q3 will be in good shape. In fact, the auditors told me that they felt that these last two filings in terms of quality have been the best they've seen yet. Q1 was good, but this Q2 one was really excellent. The whole team, Eric Sandler as controller, Gwen Duffy as outside accountant, Prasad as CFO, and of course the auditors themselves. It was just the quality of the filing was excellent, and I was very happy to hear that. We will be making sure we're on time from now on. Okay. And Keith, rock on. Ivan, go Prasad. Right on. Anyway, everybody's working really well. Now I'm going to give you the quick snapshot of what these numbers were. All right. So the 3 and 6 months year over year is not really improved. Essentially the first half of the year compared to last year first half was essentially down. Now this will be published on the website. Don't feel you have to like race your eyes over it, and I'm not going to go over it in great detail. But essentially there were cost of sales did decrease, gross profit increased, loss from operations did increase. So the 3 months looked to a certain extent better, but this is not we did not fully recover in the first half of this year. That much is clear from last year. However, here's what's interesting. Q2 versus Q1, revenue increased by 17%. So that was excellent. So essentially we had a slow start in the year. And so that's what we were overcoming. And gross profit increased by 69%. So that was good. And we had loss from operation increase. And that's really because that does not come, I want to say this, Texas always, it is never negative. What the expenses you see here are the ones to develop the new programs, the water on demand, the cryptocurrency, et cetera, all these things that we're working on. The actual work on the ground is, well, they always come out ahead. So that's not reflective of what happens in McKinney, Texas. Now, Q3. Let's take a look at what's going on Q3. As of today, I got this report from Mark Stevens. 2020 on the 16th September 2020, we were at 3.4 million, which basically we ended up at 4 million for the year, roughly. Now we are $9.4 million so far. Now, this is neither cash nor revenue. Remember, a big chunk of it is that $5 million deal that we got. But even throwing that out, we're still almost $1 million ahead. So even throwing out the $5 million deal. So just remember that we don't, this is not going to increase by that much this year, I don't think, because it takes, I mean, that $5 million deal is going to take 2 years to deliver. It's 3 power plants, right? But it is a great indication of how well the system is going. So that's my report for the day. And Ken, you were just listening to Ken. He is really on fire. He's doing a great job. We have programs that invest, like this is a great survey says. We went to the Money Show. We presented, alongside 20 other companies to people who were wandering the halls, and they loved the format, and the offering was just so clever for the investor. So as to minimize the possibility that the investor on the downside will lose money and then maximize their upside. So we got a good vote there. Schedule a call, just type in oc.gold/Ken in your browser and schedule a call. He is wall to wall, but he is there for you. All right. And then finally, there is a survey at the end, and we really, really listen to these surveys. We look at what you have to say. And this is your chance to say, hey, dude, this is what I care about. This is what I want. So spend a few moments, if you wouldn't mind, filling out the post-Zoom survey. So that's pretty much it. Now, we had a full commissioning. Remember last week I showed you a first look of the Ponster in Troy, Alabama. Well, now next week, we expect to do an announcement of it and coverage and so forth, but there will be a video, a killer video with people being interviewed on the ground and all that good stuff. So it's going to be a blast. I think you'll enjoy it. So do join us next week. Thank you everyone for hanging around. There were a few missteps, but we survived them. So I would like to wish you a happy weekend, and stay safe, stay healthy, stick around for us because you do matter. And we love you all for your support of our mission. Thank you. I'm going to go stop the video now so that the interpretation can catch up, and then I'm going to tune out. Have a good night.